Hey guys, this is Ed Yannett with Keller Williams, Team Yannett, and I'm here with Jeff Brady with Roundtree Insurance, Allstate. We're going to do a quick video on the change of the flood maps and the importance of that and how that's going to affect the price of real estate, your monthly bills and things like that.
One thing I do want to point out though is that there are properties going in the other direction. Don't necessarily, there are some areas around some canals and other things that we've seen. For example, in Wilmington Island, I know that there are some areas that are going to be impacted in a way. So, you've got, a lot of things. This is actually an area on Wilmington Island, and you'll see that these are the proposed maps. But you'll see what's going to happen here once it loads up. When we go back to the up one, now you see all those folks that are X500,
yeah.
And then now many of them are going to be zoned. And so, property owners need to know that. Luckily, Chatham County did a nice job of requiring homes to be built at certain elevations, even in some of these X flood zones. So, as a property owner, if you're going in the wrong direction, one of the challenges that could be faced with this is that you're no longer eligible for a preferred risk policy. So if you don't have flood insurance now because you're in one of these zones and you're going to go out and try to buy coverage down the line, it could have a negative impact. I do recommend, if you can get it, go ahead and purchase it if you're going the other way. Because it can at least lock you in for a period of time, but it gives you some flexibility when it comes to your rates. Because ultimately, the best case scenario would be that your elevations are high enough and an elevation certificate works in your favor. Maybe you want to accept the AE flood zone. We have several clients that have done that already and looked at what the impacts will be. They wanted to be educated on their purchase. They knew that they were not going to be eligible for that $450 policy, but they wanted flexibility, so they went ahead and had an elevation certificate done prior to the map change, knowing what they're up against. That way they can be an informed buyer. But if you're going in the other direction, unfortunately you're not going to be eligible for that preferred risk, that cheap $300 or $400 policy. You would go to a standard X rating at some point, once your provider has found that. However, you may have the ability to get a better rate by getting that elevation certificate.
Let me just ask you, so any of these houses over here, okay, if they were at, say, 11 feet after they got an elevation certificate, they could apply for that?
They could still potentially look for a letter of map amendment or...
Letter of map amendment. I'm going to get that before I leave here today.
Yeah, LOMA. It's called a LOMA, L-O-M-A, letter of map amendment. And, so it just depends. The one thing about flood insurance is that it is on a case-by-case basis. And so a neighbor may have one experience and you may have another. You can see up there on Copperfield Drive, there's a little blip of green
right here,
kind of in the middle there. Well, those properties are going to have a very different experience than those that are potentially next to them. And so one neighbor may remain in an X, one may not. Just knowing kind of what direction they're going. In fact, it looks like one of them may actually be coming out of the flood zone. If you look at that one property right here,
yeah.
You got this one, and then as they come out, there's a real good chance that they're going to be coming out of the flood zone.
And these are newer houses, so...
These are going to be all built in the 80s and 90s. So the idea is that hopefully that the county did a good job and they're at the area that they need to be. Ultimately, for some of these properties, especially as you kind of come back up, top right corner of the screen, those folks are actually going to go from AE11 to AE10. So some are improving and some are going in the other direction.